If any of you are on Twitter and follow the Cruelty Squad dev, you've most definitely been seeing uh, the discourse around Cruelty Squad like copycats, uh, and like maybe the term indie slop. I've been seeing that thrown around a lot. Um, that some people are kind of like tired of the low fidelity, graphic sort of adoration that the indie community has, and a lot of people are blaming the success of Cruelty Squad, for some of these. It all kind of started like months ago, when the developer of Goblin America, which is like definitely like a Cruelty Squad inspired game, but it kind of got out of its target audience. Well, not really, I guess, because this person claimed to be like a big Cruelty Squad fan, that were saying like they're really tired of seeing people trying to ape on the whole vibe and themes of Cruelty Squad. And it was interesting to watch the dev behind Cruelty Squad come out and basically say that, like, no, this game's gonna be fun and it's totally not like Cruelty Squad, which led to larger discourse. That person kind of crashed out a little bit. Cruelty Squad dev kind of crashed out a little bit. I mean, he's like his account's like protected now, but I wanted to like talk about this a little bit just because I think it's interesting to see how people differentiate between like what's inspired by something and then what makes it derivative. What makes it like unoriginal, and you're aping on that vibe too much. Like this person like even like said like basically implied plagiarism, which is crazy to me, a little bit. And honestly, I think that like the biggest demarcation between the two is just, is it fun? If it's not fun, then you're gonna be comparing it nonstop to whatever you've experienced before, and that's not enjoyable at all. I think that it's a totally non-serious issue, to be honest. It could definitely, I mean, anything that gets popular, other people are going to try to imitate, and then it all just becomes like diluted. The more people that try to like copy it, they're just not going to make stuff that's going to evoke the same sort of feelings that you had the first time. I mean, look at like if you like analog horror at all, or if you did like me used to when it was really starting to pop. Like Local 58 was dope, but then like Mandela Catalog came along and kind of just I don't know, it just like affected people's brains and realized that like, oh man, I can do this too. And a lot of people started doing it that really shouldn't have started to do it, and then it just didn't last long in its lifespan. I feel like a lot of those channels have kind of like slowed down a lot or almost come to a complete halt. But so like I played the Goblin America demo just because I wanted to see like how much of it is how much can you actually call it plagiarism, because I have a sneaking suspicion this person hadn't played the demo, or they're just being pedantic for Twitter likes. But I just wanted to play it, to see like how much of it is like directly inspired by, if you want to call it that, or is just totally aping. And I mean, you can look at the character select, or I guess this is like a mission select, just like the former. You got your equipment menus, and everything like that. But I mean, if we're going that route, we can talk about, immersive simulators and all that. I mean, like, talk about Deus Ex, talk about Thief. But I mean, like, right off the bat, you get into the first level and, you see how prominent the UI is, in like the real estate on the screen. And that's obviously going to, evoke some memories. In terms of like the graphics though, of course you can compare it in its like otherworldliness, but obviously not, in the fidelity or like the style of how it's, how everything's modeled. Everything has like a sort of metallic sheen to it. And I'm not sure if I love it, all the time. There are definitely some times where the environments, are nice, sometimes like there's like some scrolling textures on the walls and it kind of, it's a little trippy. It's not too bad. The music's pretty all right. I really can't complain. It's definitely not as harsh or as aggressive as, Cruelty Squad. And I mean, the game's not even out. We don't even know if like there's going to be, some like larger themes that sort of like, they try to, justify why the game looks like that. And most players aren't even going to, see or read about that, much less care. As long as, like I said, I think as long as it's fun is really all that matters at the end of the day. People are going to complain or whatever that don't, that aren't going to play these games. But if like, if they hit the right audience, and people are enjoying it, then it really doesn't matter. I don't think. I mean, as long as it's not rip for rip, like it's just a copycat of the original game, then I think that, it's fine. To take inspiration from something and then like, take little pieces of it or take, like parts of it, I think is just fine as long as the end product is, your own making and it's fun. That's just how you make subgenres. That's how people, discover and get inspired by things. They realize that like I can do this. It's not really out of my reach to make something that is, maybe a bit outlandish, maybe a bit off kilter. But as long as the dev has a good grasp, on what they're doing and has a clear vision of what they want to make, then I don't really think that inspirations or paying homage, to something that you obviously enjoyed and thought about while you were, creating your own work. I really don't think that that's too much of a problem, especially when Cruelty Squad's dev gave his seal of approval on the game. I think that people are probably just being pedantic, just for no reason other than to be argumentative, all that. You want to be an art critic about video games, and it's just not that deep, man. I do love the bimbo, Queen Never Cry son in Goblin America that would make the Majora's Mask moon have a run for its money. Yeah, I didn't realize that I was going to get instant death. I do like this simplistic death screen. But, I mean, other than that, I don't know. I think it'll be fine. And I think that people who, get all hoity-toity on Twitter about this stuff is really just making a mountain out of a molehill. Go try out Goblin America. It's not bad. Or go play Cruelty Squad. That was like one of my favorite games of 2021, definitely. Really wanted this to be a little bit more structured. I'm just trying to get comfortable with talking to a microphone, I guess. Trying to learn Premiere Pro as I go along. And I just kind of want to, get stuff out. So, if you did watch, I appreciate you. Don't have to subscribe, but it'd be nice, wouldn't it?